Okay, there's something we all need to come to grips with this Jeffrey Epstein case. Number one, everything we know about him is filtered through government and mainstream sources. We don't even know if he's dead. We honestly don't. We're just taking the word of government and media. Number two, we don't even know if Jeffrey Epstein spent a full 24 hours in maximum security. We have no video. There's no surveillance footage. So what we do know is what they're telling us. And what they're telling us is that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. And how did he commit suicide? He's alone in his cell. All he's got is him, probably a toilet, a bunk bed, and some prison-issued bed sheets. Paper-thin, prison-issued bed sheets. He's on 24-hour surveillance. We know that from government and mainstream sources that his lawyers requested that he be taken off of suicide watch. And now his lawyers are having to lawyer up because they made that decision for one of the highest profile prisoner, not only in America, but probably the world. Took him off of suicide watch after he supposedly committed suicide 5 or 6 weeks ago. Intelligentsia. Very, very wise individuals that are running that prison system, no? So he hangs himself. There are reports from government and mainstream sources that there were screeches coming down the hall on the night that he supposedly committed suicide. People who are hanging themselves can't make noises because they're gasping for air. They're not screeching. They're not yelling. They're not calling out for help. That's not happening. So another thing that they say happened is that the security cameras glitched in that 24-hour period where he supposedly committed suicide. Guys, we are being asked to believe every word of an official story that sounds completely made up. And yet, if you question that official stories, like other government mainstream stories, you are a conspiracy theorist. There's a conspiracy happening, all right, and it's far from a theory. But here's the takeaway, guys. The same government who couldn't keep alive the highest profile criminal in recent history, couldn't keep him alive under 24-hour surveillance, under the watchful eye of 24/7 guards, under a surveillance apparatus and surveillance cameras that glitched. That same government who couldn't keep Jeffrey Epstein alive, assuming that he's dead, is the same government who wants to issue red flag, extreme risk protection orders, taking your right to protect yourself away and trampling on your Fourth Amendment rights. And you're going to trust them to do that? We couldn't trust them to keep Jeffrey Epstein alive, and we're going to trust them to keep us safe? They couldn't keep, just let it sink in. They couldn't keep Jeffrey Epstein alive in a maximum security prison system. And you expect them to keep you alive through red flag laws? Now here's my request, because it sure does look fishy that the surveillance cameras glitched. Just show us the surveillance cameras in time-lapse fashion where Jeffrey Epstein spent any time in prison at all. That's all I want. You don't have to show us, I mean, I'd like you to show us the security footage that you have of you guys killing him. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's just speculation. It'd be nice to get that 24-hour footage or that 12-hour footage or however long it was where he was in that cell to watch to see if he really did commit suicide. But all we want is the surveillance footage of him actually in those prison cells, in that maximum security prison. That's all we want. Otherwise, the people who are propagating a conspiracy theory is government and media. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.